Hey there, welcome to your personalized deep dive. Today we're focusing on something pretty amazing, Landsat. It's been quietly taking pictures of our planet, for over 50 years, and we're going to explore what makes it so valuable.
It really is an incredible program. Landsat's data is like a time machine. It allows us to see how the Earth's surface has changed over decades.
And that data isn't just sitting in some archive, it's actively being used in ways that impact us all. Did you know that a recent report found that Landsat is worth a staggering $25.6 billion?
Yeah, and that's over 7 times its estimated value from just 6 years ago. That number really highlights how essential this program is.
Okay, so let's break down why Landsat is so valuable. You mentioned it's like a time machine. So what kind of insights can we gain from having this long-term record of Earth's surface?
Well, think about it. We're talking about over 50 years of data on everything from forests and farmland to urban sprawl and glaciers. This allows us to track changes in land use, water resources, and ecosystems on a scale that wouldn't be possible otherwise.
So it's not just about pretty pictures. It's about understanding how our planet is changing and what that means for us. What are some concrete examples of how this translates into real-world benefits?
Well, the report highlights a lot of really impressive examples. For instance, the USDA is using Landsat data to improve flood mapping, which is saving them $300 million annually in flood insurance premiums for farmers.
That's huge. Protecting farmers and saving money, all thanks to Landsat.
Exactly. And in Idaho, the Department of Water Resources is using Landsat to estimate water usage from unmetered wells. This is saving them almost $20 million every year and helps to ensure water is being used responsibly.
Those are some pretty compelling examples. It sounds like this data is being used across a wide range of applications.
Absolutely. The report also mentions that the U.S. Forest Service and Bureau of Land Management are saving millions of dollars annually using Landsat for post-wildfire restoration.
With the increasing threat of wildfires, that's a critical application. It's reassuring to know that Landsat is playing a role in recovery efforts.
Another interesting use is in preventing crop insurance fraud, which is saving the U.S. government $100 million annually.
Wow, who knew? Landsat is a true multitasker. Are there any other areas where it's proving to be particularly valuable?
One area that's particularly fascinating is water quality monitoring. By using Landsat to monitor chlorophyll levels in water, we're saving $51 million each year in lab costs. This has major implications for environmental protection and public health.
It's really amazing to see how one program can have such a ripple effect across so many different sectors. This really underscores why Tim Newman, the program coordinator for the USGS National Land Imaging Program called Landsat, a cornerstone of Earth observation science.
He went on to say that Landsat is providing a critical 50-plus-year data record for understanding and managing our planet's resources and anticipating future landscape change.
That's a powerful statement. So it's not just about understanding the past. It's about using that knowledge to plan for the future. I'm curious to know more about this specific research that Landsat is enabling. What are some of the scientific breakthroughs that stand out to you?
Well, one notable development this year was the update to the National Land Cover Database, or NLCD for short. By incorporating more of the Landsat archive, they've been able to create a much more detailed and accurate picture of land cover across the United States.
So we're talking about things like forests, urban areas, wetlands, and so on. Having this kind of detailed information is essential for so many things, from conservation planning to infrastructure development.
Exactly. Another exciting area of research involves using Landsat to capture twilight imagery of Antarctica, Greenland, and the Arctic Sea.
Twilight imagery. What makes
Yeah.
that so special?
It allows scientists to capture images in low-light conditions, which is particularly useful for studying these polar regions where daylight hours can be limited. This type of imagery is enabling new research on ice sheet dynamics, sea ice extent, and other important climate variables.
So we're talking about getting a clearer picture of how climate change is impacting these critical areas.
Precisely. And then there's Wildfire, a program that uses Landsat data to help track and manage wildfires. It celebrated its 20th anniversary this year.
20 years is a long time. What have we learned from 2 decades of using Landsat to study wildfires?
Well, Wildfire has been instrumental in providing insights into fire behavior, fuel loads, and the long-term impacts of wildfires on ecosystems. This information is vital for developing effective fire management strategies, especially in a time of increasing fire risk.
So Landsat is helping us to understand the past, present, and future of wildfires. That's pretty incredible. What other research areas are benefiting from Landsat's unique capabilities?
Well, there's been significant progress in using Landsat data to estimate water depths in coastal areas. which is essential for coastal management and understanding the impacts of sea level rise.
That's really important, especially with the growing concerns about rising sea levels. I imagine this data could be used to protect coastal communities and infrastructure.
Absolutely. And in a completely different area of research, scientists have been using the Landsat archive to fill in historical gaps in fire records for the tundra of northern Alaska. This is giving us a much deeper understanding of long-term fire patterns in these remote and sensitive ecosystems.
It's like piecing together a puzzle of the past to understand how these regions have evolved over time.
And speaking of puzzles, researchers have developed a revolutionary new technique using Landsat to study water quality in lakes across the U.S. They're essentially monitoring lake health from space.
That's incredible. So we're not just looking at land, but also gaining valuable insights into the health of our waterways.
Exactly. And finally, we have a researcher in Utah who is using the Landsat record to track medium-sized fires, creating a valuable historical record of fire activity in the state. This kind of data is essential for understanding fire regimes and informing fire management practices.
It sounds like Landsat is truly a versatile tool with applications in so many different fields. It's amazing to think that this one program is providing such a wealth of information about our planet. But it's not just scientists in the U.S. who are benefiting from Landsat, is it?
You're absolutely right. Landsat's open data policy and its commitment to international collaboration have made it a truly global resource. In fact, there's an initiative called the Landsat 2030 International Partnership Initiative that's actively working to strengthen relationships with international collaborators.
Okay, so tell me more about this international collaboration. What's the significance of having partners all over the world?
Well, for one, it allows us to share knowledge and resources, which ultimately leads to better science and more effective applications. It also helps to build trust and understanding between countries, which is especially important in today's world.
I can see how having a shared mission like Landsat can be a powerful force for collaboration and diplomacy. What are some specific examples of how this is playing out?
Australia, for example, just signed an agreement to continue its nearly 50-year partnership with the Landsat program. They're planning to enhance their ground station facilities and prepare for the increased data flow from the upcoming Landsat Next mission.
Wow, 50 years. That's a testament to the enduring value of this program. Are there other countries playing a key role in the Landsat partnership?
Definitely. Germany's Aerospace Center, known as DLR, has also signed an agreement to continue their long-standing partnership and will be receiving data from the next generation of Landsat satellites at their Neustrelitz ground station.
So we're seeing strong commitments from key players in the global space community. It's clear that Landsat is seen as a vital resource worldwide. Are there any other partners we should know about?
Norway plays a crucial role with their Svalbard satellite station, which serves as a vital part of the Landsat ground network.
So Landsat really is a global effort. It's inspiring to see so many countries coming together to support this incredible program. And speaking of exciting developments, let's talk about Landsat Next.
Ah, yes. Landsat Next. It's going to be a game changer. We're talking about not one, but 3 identical satellites, each equipped with cutting-edge sensors that will collect data in a whopping 26 spectral bands.
Wait, hold on. For those of us who aren't rocket scientists, what exactly are spectral bands and why are 26 of them such a big deal?
You're right, I should explain that. Spectral bands are essentially different ranges of light that a sensor can detect. Each band reveals unique information about the Earth's surface. So the more bands you have, the more information you can gather.
Okay, so it's like having a much more detailed picture of what's happening on the ground. And with 26 bands, Landsat Next will be able to see things that previous Landsat missions just couldn't.
Exactly. Think of it like going from a standard definition TV to a 4K ultra-high definition screen. The level of detail will be phenomenal. We'll be able to see things like subtle variations in vegetation health, water quality, and even mineral composition.
That's incredible. What kind of research will this new data enable?
The possibilities are truly exciting. Scientists are already buzzing about the potential for breakthroughs in fields like water resource management, agricultural monitoring, and climate change research.
I'm practically giddy with anticipation, and the economic projections are pretty impressive too, right?
Oh, yes. Early estimates suggest that Landsat Next could bring in over $33 billion in annual economic value.
That's a massive return on investment. It really highlights the importance of investing in science and technology. And speaking of investments, there was a big milestone for Landsat Next this year.
Absolutely. The USGS selected a contractor to design and build the sensors for the Landsat Next satellites. This is a crucial step in moving the mission forward and getting those super-powered eyes in the sky.
It sounds like they're full steam ahead. I'm eager to see what the future holds for Landsat Next. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's take a moment to acknowledge a bittersweet event that happened this year, the retirement of Landsat 7.
Ah, yes. Landsat 7, a true legend. After 25 years in orbit and over 3.3 million images captured, it was time for this workhorse to finally get some rest.
Imagine all the stories it could tell if it could talk. It's witnessed so much change over the years. What are some of the key events that Landsat 7 documented during its long career?
Well, it captured the devastating aftermath of Hurricane Katrina in 2005, providing valuable data for rescue and recovery efforts. It also documented the Deepwater Horizon oil spill in 2010, helping to track the spread of the oil and assess the environmental damage.
Those are just two examples, but they really highlight the role that Landsat plays in documenting major events and informing our response to them.
And then there are the more subtle changes like urban sprawl. There are some striking before and after images of Las Vegas that show the city's massive expansion over Landsat 7's lifetime.
It really puts things in perspective, seeing how much our planet has changed in just a few decades.
Yeah.
And Landsat 7 was there to capture it all.
It really was a silent sentinel, quietly observing our planet from above and providing us with a visual record of our changing world.
And now as we look ahead to the future of Landsat, with Landsat Next on the horizon, it feels like we're entering a new chapter in Earth observation. What legacy do you think Landsat 7 leaves behind?
I think Landsat 7 will be remembered for its incredible longevity, its reliability, and the vast amount of data it provided. It's a testament to the power of human ingenuity and our enduring curiosity about our planet. Landsat 7's legacy is certainly remarkable, and its contributions highlight something really important about the Landsat program as a whole, the incredible accessibility of its data.
You're right, we've touched on this before, but it's worth emphasizing. This isn't data locked away in some vault.
Yeah,
It's free and readily available to anyone who wants to use it.
exactly. And that open access has been transformative. It's democratized the use of Earth observation information, making it possible for people from all walks of life to explore and analyze this incredible resource.
I'm really curious about the impact of that accessibility. Who's using this data besides scientists, and what are they doing with it?
Oh, the applications are incredibly diverse.
Hmm.
We're seeing entrepreneurs using Landsat data to build businesses, students incorporating it into school projects, and citizen scientists leveraging it to monitor their local environments.
It's amazing to think about the power we've put in people's hands by making this data so readily available.
It truly is.
Yeah.
And this accessibility is especially important in light of one of the most pressing challenges of our time, climate change.
That's a great point. We've talked about specific applications, but how is Landsat contributing to our broader understanding of climate change?
Landsat's long-term data record is invaluable for tracking the impacts of climate change on a global scale. It allows us to see those gradual shifts that might otherwise go unnoticed, things like melting glaciers, expanding deserts, and changes in plant life.
So it's helping us to connect the dots between these seemingly isolated events and see the bigger picture of how our planet is responding to a changing climate.
Precisely. And that understanding is crucial for informing climate models, predicting future impacts, and developing strategies for mitigation and adaptation.
It sounds like Landsat is providing a critical piece of the puzzle when it comes to tackling climate change.
Absolutely. And it's not just focused on one specific aspect of climate change either. We can use Landsat to track deforestation rates, which contribute to rising carbon emissions, and then see how those emissions are impacting global temperatures and sea levels.
So it's helping us to understand the interconnectedness of all these different environmental processes.
Exactly. And this emphasis on international collaboration that we discussed earlier is essential for addressing these complex global challenges.
I can see how sharing data and expertise across borders would be crucial for developing effective solutions to climate change. But I imagine coordinating something like Landsat on a global scale comes with its own set of hurdles. What are some of the challenges you encounter when working with so many international partners?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is ensuring data compatibility. Different countries may have different data formats, processing methods, and even definitions for certain land cover types.
But it's not as simple as just sharing the raw images. There's a lot of work that goes into making sure everyone is speaking the same language, so to speak.
Exactly. But thankfully, there's a growing movement towards data standardization and interoperability, which is making it easier to share and compare data from different sources.
That's good to hear. What are some other challenges you face in managing these global partnerships?
Well, there are always logistical considerations like time zones and language barriers, and of course, different countries have different priorities and research agendas.
So it's a balancing act, trying to meet everyone's needs while still maintaining the overall goals of the Landsat program.
It is. But the benefits of these partnerships far outweigh the challenges. By working together, we can achieve so much more than we could individually.
It's really inspiring to see how a program like Landsat can foster collaboration and understanding on a global scale. And speaking of the future, let's dive back into the exciting possibilities of Landsat Next. We touched on the economic benefits and the incredible level of detail it will provide, but what are some of the specific scientific advancements that you're most excited about?
With 26 spectral bands, Landsat Next will be able to detect subtle differences in vegetation health, water quality, and mineral composition that were previously invisible to us.
So we're talking about a whole new level of understanding about the Earth's surface.
Exactly. Imagine being able to track the movement of nutrients through a forest ecosystem or monitor the health of coral reefs with unprecedented precision.
Those are just two examples, but they really paint a picture of the transformative potential of this new data. What about advancements in the way we analyze and interpret this data? I know there's a lot of buzz around artificial intelligence and its potential role in Earth observation.
Yes, AI is going to play a huge role in unlocking the full potential of Landsat Next.
Yes.
We're already seeing incredible advancements in using AI and machine learning to automate data processing, identify patterns, and even predict future trends.
So it's not just about having more data, it's about having smarter ways to use that data.
Precisely. Imagine being able to train AI models to detect early warning signs of deforestation, drought, or even disease outbreaks.
That's incredible. It's like having a crystal ball that allows us to see into the future of our planet and take proactive steps to protect it.
It really is a game changer. And the exciting thing is that we're still in the early stages of exploring the possibilities of AI and Earth observation. I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
It's mind-boggling to think about the discoveries that await us as these technologies continue to evolve. But amidst all this talk about high-tech sensors and artificial intelligence, it's easy to forget that Landsat is ultimately about people. It's about providing information that can help us make better decisions and live more sustainably on this planet.
You're absolutely right. Landsat is a tool for understanding our world and our place in it. And the more we understand, the better equipped we'll be to protect it.
And that understanding isn't just for scientists and policymakers, it's for everyone. Which brings us back to the incredible value of Landsat's open data policy.
Yes, that open access is key to empowering individuals and communities to become active participants in the stewardship of our planet.
I love that. So it's not just about collecting data, it's about giving people the tools they need to make a difference. What are some examples of how citizen scientists are using Landsat data to make a real impact?
We're seeing amazing examples all over the world. For example, in some regions, citizen scientists are using Landsat data to track deforestation rates and alert authorities to illegal logging activity.
So they're acting as watchdogs, holding those in power accountable for protecting our forests.
Exactly. In other areas, citizen scientists are using Landsat data to monitor the health of local waterways and advocate for policies to improve water quality.
It's really empowering to see how everyday people are leveraging this technology to protect their communities and the environment.
It really is. And that's the beauty of Landsat. It's a program that transcends borders, disciplines, and even expertise levels. It's a resource for all of humanity.
That's a powerful statement, and it speaks to the legacy that Landsat has built over the past 50 years. But as we look ahead, it's clear that Landsat is not resting on its laurels. With Landsat Next on the horizon, the future of Earth observation looks brighter than ever.
I couldn't agree more. And as we continue to explore the possibilities of Landsat and other Earth observation missions, we're opening up new chapters in the story of our planet.
Chapters filled with wonder, discovery, and the promise of a more sustainable future. It's an exciting time to be alive. But before we get lost in the excitement of the future, I think it's important to acknowledge the broader context of Earth observation. Because Landsat is just one piece of a much larger puzzle, a global effort to monitor our planet and ensure its well-being.
That's a great point. Landsat is part of a constellation of Earth-observing satellites, each with its own unique strengths and capabilities. We have missions focused on weather forecasting, climate monitoring, oceanography, and a whole host of other scientific disciplines.
It's like having an army of eyes in the sky, constantly watching over our planet and sending back vital information.
Exactly. And the beauty of this global effort is that it's not just about individual missions, it's about how those missions work together.
So we're talking about sharing data, insights, and expertise across different missions and disciplines to create a more holistic understanding of our planet.
Precisely. And we're seeing a growing emphasis on data interoperability, cloud computing, and open source software, all of which are making it easier to access, analyze, and share Earth observation data.
It's like we're breaking down the silos between different scientific fields and building a more integrated and collaborative approach to Earth observation.
And that's essential because the challenges we face, from climate change to biodiversity loss to natural disasters, require a holistic and coordinated response.
No single mission, no single country can do it alone.
Exactly. It's a team effort. And Landsat, with its long history of international partnerships and its commitment to open data, is a shining example of how we can work together to build a more sustainable and equitable future for all.
It's a legacy that we can all be proud of. But beyond the science and the technology, there's something even more profound at the heart of Landsat.
I think you're referring to that innate human curiosity about our world and our place in the universe.
Exactly. Landsat isn't just about collecting data, it's about feeding that curiosity and inspiring us to explore, to learn, and to connect with our planet on a deeper level.
It's about seeing our world from a new perspective and appreciating its beauty and its fragility.
It's about recognizing that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, and that our actions have consequences for the entire planet.
And it's about using that knowledge to make informed decisions and create a more sustainable future for ourselves and for generations to come.
Landsat's story is ultimately a story about hope. It's a story about the power of human ingenuity to solve problems and create a better world.
And it's a story that's still being written.
Speaking of stories, did you know that Landsat data is inspiring creative works as well?
It's true. We're seeing a growing number of artists, musicians, and storytellers who are using Landsat imagery as inspiration for their work.
Wait, really? Tell me more.
Yeah.
I'd love to see how people are translating the scientific data into art.
There are some stunning visual art pieces being created using Landsat images. Artists are drawn to the abstract patterns and textures of Earth as seen from space, and they're using those images to explore themes of nature, change, and the interconnectedness of all things.
That's fascinating. So they're finding beauty and meaning in this scientific data that might otherwise seem cold and impersonal.
Exactly. And musicians are also finding inspiration in Landsat. They're composing pieces that evoke the grandeur of our planet and the awe-inspiring scale of the changes we're witnessing.
It sounds like a symphony of science and art. And what about storytellers? How are they incorporating Landsat into their narratives?
Writers are weaving Landsat imagery into their novels, poems, and essays, using it to create vivid descriptions of landscapes to illustrate the impact of climate change and to explore the complex relationship between humans and nature.
It's incredible to see how Landsat is transcending disciplinary boundaries and finding its way into the world of art and storytelling.
It's a testament to the power of Landsat to connect with people on a deeply personal level. And it's a reminder that science isn't just about data and facts. It's about sparking curiosity, inspiring awe, and fostering a deeper connection with our planet.
Well said. It seems like Landsat is having a cultural impact that goes far beyond its scientific contributions. And that's something to celebrate.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that science is for everyone and that we can all find meaning and inspiration in the exploration of our world.
And as we continue this exploration, it's important to remember that we're not just passive observers. We have a role to play in shaping the future of our planet.
I couldn't agree more. And I think this is a perfect segue to talk about another fascinating aspect of Landsat's story, one that highlights the interplay between science, technology, and society.
And I'm intrigued. What are we diving into next?
Let's explore the growing role of artificial intelligence in the field of Earth observation.
Ah, AI. The buzzword of the century. But seriously, I'm eager to hear how this technology is being applied in the context of Landsat and what it means for the future of Earth observation.
It's a topic that's ripe with potential and definitely deserves a deep dive of its own. AI is truly revolutionizing how we analyze and interpret the vast amounts of data collected by Landsat and other Earth-observing satellites.
So we've got these incredibly powerful sensors gathering information about our planet, and now AI is helping us make sense of it all.
Exactly. It's a perfect synergy. Machine learning algorithms, for example, can sift through mountains of data to identify subtle patterns and anomalies that might be missed by the human eye.
So it's like having a superpowered research assistant that can work tirelessly 24/7.
That's a great analogy. And these AI assistants are getting smarter all the time. As we feed them more data and refine their algorithms, they become even more adept at identifying trends, making predictions, and even generating insights that we might never have considered on our own.
It sounds almost like science fiction. What are some specific examples of how AI is being used to analyze Landsat data right now?
Well, one exciting area is land cover classification. AI algorithms can be trained to automatically identify different types of land cover, like forests, urban areas, and agricultural fields, with remarkable accuracy.
So we're talking about creating detailed maps of the Earth's surface that are constantly updated with the latest Landsat imagery.
Precisely. And this information is invaluable for a wide range of applications, from urban planning and resource management to disaster response and conservation efforts.
It's amazing to think about the level of detail we can achieve with these AI-powered mapping techniques.
Uh-huh.
What about other applications beyond mapping?
AI is also being used to track changes in vegetation patterns over time. This allows us to monitor the health of forests, identify areas at risk of drought or desertification, and even assess the effectiveness of conservation efforts.
So it's like giving our planet a regular checkup, using AI to diagnose any potential problems before they become too severe.
That's a great way to put it. And the beauty of AI is that it's not limited to a single task. We can train different AI models to focus on specific areas of interest, like monitoring the health of coral reefs, tracking the movement of wildlife populations, or even predicting the likelihood of natural disasters.
It sounds like the possibilities are endless. But amidst all this talk about technology, I want to emphasize something that's often overlooked:
What's that?
the human element. Technology is a powerful tool, but it's ultimately up to us as humans to decide how to use it. It's our responsibility to ensure that these advancements are used for the greater good, to benefit society and protect our planet.
I couldn't agree more. Technology is a means to an end, and that end should always be the well-being of humanity and the natural world.
So as we look to the future of Landsat and the broader field of Earth observation, it's essential that we keep this human-centered perspective in mind.
Absolutely. It's not just about collecting data and developing algorithms. It's about using that information to make informed decisions, to solve problems, and to create a more sustainable and equitable future for all.
And that brings us back to the importance of access and education. Making Landsat data readily available to everyone, from scientists and policymakers to educators, students, and everyday citizens, is crucial for empowering people to become active participants in the stewardship of our planet.
I completely agree. When we give people the tools and knowledge to understand our planet, we unlock their potential to become agents of change.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Landsat, what are some key takeaways that you hope our listeners will remember?
Well, first and foremost, I hope they appreciate the incredible value of this program and remarkable insights it's provided over the past 50 years. From tracking land use changes to monitoring climate impacts to inspiring artistic creations, Landsat has truly touched every aspect of our lives.
It's been an incredible journey of discovery, and it's clear that Landsat's story is far from over. With Landsat Next on the horizon and the ever-evolving power of AI at our fingertips, the future of Earth observation is brimming with possibilities.
Indeed. And I encourage our listener to stay curious, to keep exploring, and to never underestimate the power of human ingenuity to solve even the most complex challenges.
Well said. As we bid farewell to our listener, we leave them with this thought. The future of our planet is in our hands, and Landsat is giving us the tools we need to shape that future for the better.
So let's use those tools wisely, with a deep respect for our planet and a commitment to building a more sustainable and equitable world for all.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep discovering the wonders of our planet.